Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Langley Speedway. Welcome to True Sim Productions. I'm your host, Winston Deal, from the WD Broadcasting Network on Facebook. Right now, we are qualifying here at the Langley Speedway in the Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication Super Series. Right now, Brandon Elvis sits at the top spot with a 15:47. Zach Murphy second spot with a 15:53. We'll see if he can get anything better on lap number 2 across the stripe. That second lap time a little bit slower. 7 cars have taken a time. 2 drivers still to go. Chris Smith, Scotty Stevens. Looks like Chris Smith has made his way onto the racetrack. Smith, lap number 1, gets the white right there. What can he do? Top of the board, a 15:44. And that is going to be good enough for a fast time here tonight. Across the line, second lap time a little bit slower. Scotty Stevens now, 4th quick on lap number 1. Lap 2 for Stevens, a little bit slower as well. Justin Coleman just hopped into the session. We'll see if he can get a lap time down. But right now, Chris Smith in the 80s sitting at the top of the board. We'll see if Coleman can get a lap out. He's got a minute to do so. Alrighty, folks, the grid is set. We are underway nearly here at the Langley Speedway. Getting ready to send these guys green for 125 laps of racing here tonight. Chris Smith going to be on the pole in the 80 machine. As we are getting ready to go here, look at the white flag. Had to redo the timing and scoring, so I do apologize about the lack of hype on the mic right here. But the white flag is out, and I am all set up and ready to go. 125 laps of racing coming our way. The field is in the hands of Chris Smith and Brandon Elvis. The pace car is going to make its way through turns 3 and 4, down pit road, through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are green flag racing here at Langley. You saw Brandon Elvis got way sideways on that initial start. Chris Smith going to get the early advantage. Here comes Zach Murphy trying to take away the second spot already. Murphy down low, Elvis on the top side. Elvis not able to put up a fight right there. Going to hop back down into the third spot. Ooh, Murphy sideways across the track in front of the field. Everybody else keeps going, but the caution flag does fly. Zach Murphy in the 29 just got a little bit too much there, I think, on the back straightaway. We'll see what happened. Right here. Here's the 29 up off the corner. Yeah, good shot right there. Just back end comes around. Luckily, he was able to keep it down, and everybody saw him spinning when they did, and nobody else was involved. One more view right here again. Just loses the back end. Good job by Brandon Elvis to avoid that in the 54 car. His view right here. Yeah, big time moment. He got on the brakes pretty good though, so Elvis is going to keep it pointed in the right direction. But Chris Smith is your early race leader. We are 5 laps in when they get back around. Brandon Elvis going to be back up in the second spot where he started. Dalton Creech in the third spot. He started 5th in this one, up 2 positions early. There go the lights on the iRacing.com pace car. Going to be sending them back green flag racing this time by. And it'll be Chris Smith, Brandon Elvis once again leading the field. And through the Coleman Design restart zone, we are back racing once again. Elvis and Smith down into turns 1 and 2. Smith going to have the advantage once again, but Elvis is going to be able to get down into that second spot. Chris Smith has a good advantage. Meanwhile, back behind, here comes Justin Coleman. Ooh, contact. Dalton Creech goes around in the 36. I think there might have been contact off the nose of Scotty Stevens in the in the 2. Get one more look at it right here. Going into turns 1 and 2 right here. Dalton Creech racing with the 2 of Scotty Stevens. Yeah, it looks like the 2 might have just misjudged the gap, got in there a little bit hot. And around goes Dalton Creech. Luckily, no damage, it looks like, for the 36 car. Get one more view from our friends flying the drone into turns 1 and 2 right here. Yeah, it looks like the 2 just got in a little hot, shot up the racetrack into the 36, but no damage. But he is going to be back to the 10th spot. So the second caution flag of the evening. 10 laps into this one. Chris Smith able to keep the lead. Definitely easy to restart on the bottom right here. It's going to be the key all night long, is that bottom lane. Stevens in the 3 car. Looks like he might be pulling to the bottom side. There is an in-race admin here in the All-Star Racing League. So if he deemed that Stevens' fault, he might be sending him to the back. It looks like Stevens will keep his spot. Oh, he drops down right there. And the lights will be back on for another pace lap here. And there go the lights once again. Ready to go back, green flag racing. 10 cars still on the lead lap. We'll see if Chris Smith can hold off Brandon Elvis once again. Elvis 9 points back from points leader Brandon Mettler, who's sitting in the 4th spot right now. Chris Smith 3rd back behind them through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are racing here once again at Langley. Dale Ogburn, good start in the 0-1. Can he drive to the bottom side of the 54? Looks like he's able to around the inside of the racetrack. Ooh, Elvis up into the wall. That's going to open the door for Brandon Mettler right there in the 15 as well. Elvis up the track. Moving by. Here comes Zach Murphy, who spun on that first caution. He's trying to go by as well. Ooh, contact right there. I think Elvis was trying to get back down in line, and Murphy was down there. We'll see if Murphy forces the issue here into 3 and 4. Looks like he's not gonna. Try and let Brandon Elvis get back down. He's got another run through turns 3 and 4. Elvis finally able to get back down in the 4th spot. Loses 2 positions there on that restart. Meanwhile, up front, Dale Ogburn starting to close in on Chris Smith in the 80. Brandon Mettler, your points leader in the 15, working the back bumper of Dale Ogburn right there. You see him in the 15. He's closing the gap right there. Can he make the move and slide around Ogburn in the 0-1? Right there on the back bumper, nearly contact. Mettler definitely right there on the 01's back bumper. Can he make the move? The turns 1 and 2 right here, gonna peek to the inside underneath that yellow line. Ogburn, though, gonna be able to get the run on the top side. Mettler down low once again. Contact on that left rear quarter panel. Through turns 1 and 2. Not able to get the run that time around. Here comes Brandon Elvis in the 54, starting to close his gap once again. Trying to reel these guys back in and take those spots back. There's another bumper up off the corner. Mettler in the 15, definitely wanting to get that second spot. Down the back straightaway once again. Looks like the 15 definitely has a better car coming off the corner. I think Ogburn can drive his in a little bit further, but that 15 drives off the corner is so much better. We'll see if Mettler can make this pass. We're past the 5th of the way into this race. Lap 28 right here for your leader, Chris Smith. Still looks like the battle for the second spot. Dale Ogburn right there. And Brandon Mettler is trying to take that spot away. He's been all over the back bumper for quite a few laps now. Good drive into turns 1 and 2 that time for the 15. Is he going to have the run down the back straightaway? He powers by on the inside. And that's going to give the spot to Brandon Mettler out of turns 3 and 4. Brandon Elvis trying to pounce as well in the 54. He's going to get by for third as well. So move Brandon Mettler up to the second spot in the 15. We'll see if he's got anything for your race leader, Chris Smith. Five cars up front right here for the race lead. Last lap around. Brandon Mettler about a 10th quicker than your race leader. We'll see what they go this right here. Same story, just about a 10th quicker than your race leader. So Mettler definitely starting to close the gap to race leader Chris Smith. We saw him make that pass on Dale Ogburn. He's going to try and do the same with Smith. Looks like Mettler had a moment right there. Lost some ground. Zach Murphy in the 29. He's trying to take over the 4th spot underneath the 01 of Dale Ogburn. Looks like he's going to have the drive off the corner right here. And it turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can bring Justin Coleman in the 14 with him. Moves by. Steven's going to move by as well. Ogburn going to go back to the 7th spot. As we look back up front, 3 cars breaking away for the race lead right here. Brandon Mettler trying to close in on Chris Smith. They're nearly 40 laps into this one. You got to save these tires because you do not know when the caution flag is going to come out. So you definitely do not want to kill these tires and have to run them to the end. Lap times between these top 3 drivers pretty similar. Really similar throughout the field. Everybody very tight here at Langley tonight. That 15 is definitely closing the gap to the 80 of Chris Smith. He's able to get that car off the corner better than most people. Driving up to the back bumper. Meanwhile, back behind these guys, here comes Justin Coleman. He's up on the back bumper as Zach Murphy, maybe trying to take away that 4th spot. Peeking to the inside. Ooh, Brandon Mettler gives up the 2nd spot to Brandon Elvis. Not sure what happened there. But Elvis gonna sneak by Mettler there. Elvis now gonna set his sights on Chris Smith for that race lead. Meanwhile, back for the 4th spot. Looked like there might have been contact coming out of 2 right there. Justin Coleman, Zach Murphy. Still working that back bumper of Zach Murphy. It's very hard to pass here at the Langley Speedway. You're seeing that right here. It's hard to get your nose underneath that guy and drive off the corner. Coleman trying everything he's got right here to get a nose underneath that 29, but 50 laps in, Murphy's still hanging on to the 4th spot. Brandon Elvis starting to separate himself from Brandon Mettler, but running pretty close times with your race leader, Chris Smith. But it looks like the 15 of Mettler might be struggling, starting to really drop off pace. You see him falling back to the 29 of Zach Murphy right here. Murphy closing in on the 15 of Brandon Mettler. Coleman right there as well. Ooh, contact there, a nudge to the back bumper of the 29. As Mettler up the racetrack. Here comes Zach Murphy, going to take away the 3rd spot down the back straightaway. Can Justin Coleman follow suit? Looks like he's going to. Move Brandon Mettler back to the 5th spot. Zach Murphy up inside the top 3. Meanwhile, we look back up front. Brandon Elvis still right there behind Chris Smith. Justin Coleman all over Zach Murphy's back bumper in the 29. Trying everything he can to find a way underneath. Coleman trying to work a little bit different line than Murphy, who nearly had an opening there. Decided it was not worth sending it in right there. Right there on the back bumper once again. Is he going to have any drive into 3? Close that time. If he can set it up into turns 1 and 2 right here, he might be able to get him down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, up front, new race leader Brandon Elvis on lap number 61. He is going to be your USA Firearms halfway leader, but taking the top spot away from Chris Smith on lap 61. Brandon Elvis, new race leader. Justin Coleman still working the back bumper of Zach Murphy. Trying to find an opening. Chris Smith not falling too far behind your race leader, Brandon Elvis. He's staying right there with him. So here comes Justin Coleman sending it to the inside. Murphy's going to say, oh, okay, all right. Backs back in line. So move Justin Coleman in the 14 up to the 3rd spot. He's got about 4 seconds to Chris Smith, the 80. Scotty Stevens, Dalton Creech, the battle for the 6th spot. Creech trying to find an opening. Looks like he's going to get to the inside right here. Stevens up the racetrack. Got to give the position right there. Move Dalton Creech up into P6. Brandon Mettler in the 15, who at one point we saw in the 2nd spot, all the way back to 5th. About to lose 6th right here from Dalton Creech. Last time around, he was about 5/10 slower than your race leader. That's half a second. Definitely some handling issues present with that 15. Looks like he might have burnt the tires off. He's going to be hoping for a caution. These guys do have a set of tires in the pits if they want to use them. But past the halfway point right here, you're going to see him pit if we have a caution. But will we get that caution? We'll find out. leader. Approaching lap number 80. Just shy of 45 laps to go. Elvis has a 0.6 of a second advantage over Chris Smith. Then it's another 2.7 back to Justin Coleman. Zach Murphy and Dalton Creech round out your top 5 right now. Still 8 cars on the lead lap. Dale Ogburn driving the 0-1 down pit road, calling it a night. Jeffrey Miller 3 laps down, as we are 80 laps in this time by. And Elvis doing what he needs to do right here. Running it consistent, in the same spot, not overheating the tires. And ooh, Brandon Mettler down pit road in the 15. Your points leader down pit road. Is that going to force the hand of others in the group? We'll see some right side tires going up. Will anybody else come down pit road as well? You seen him go 2 laps down. Is anybody else going to risk it coming down pit road? He's definitely going to have a pace advantage over these guys. But will he be able to make up 2 laps? We'll have to find out. Your race leader is still Brandon Elvis. Zach Murphy in the 4th spot. Dalton Creech starting to close in on him. They are in their own little bubble on the racetrack. As Mettler gets around Brandon Elvis. Just like that. Only 1 lap down. Looks like nobody else gonna come down pit road. Ooh, Justin Elvis sideways, spinning in turns 1 and 2, nearly comes up into his brother Brandon, but the caution flag flies. You saw it right there. We'll go back and look. Another view, 15 of Brandon Mettler trying to gain as much ground as he can underneath the apron, flips the 44, and around he goes. Get another view of it here. On board with the 15 of Brandon Mettler, yeah, just a tiny bit of contact. And you see the ride for Justin Elvis, big time hit right there. Meanwhile, up front, everybody coming down pit road. Chris Smith coming out second. Brandon Elvis takes over, Brandon Elvis keeps the race lead. Chris Smith second. Justin Coleman third. These guys are going to have to race it out for these final 35 laps. third caution flag here tonight. Brandon Mettler will be allowed to get his lap back when the field gets the 1-to-go signal. But he will have to tag the tail. 7 cars on the lead lap. We'll see if Brandon Elvis can hold off Chris Smith, Justin Coleman, Dalton Creech, and Zach Murphy, all right there in the top 5. And the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. We're getting ready to send them back green flag racing. Pace car on through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are back racing once again at Langley. Good restart there for Brandon Elvis. He's going to be able to get away. But can Justin Coleman get around Chris Smith in the 80? Coleman down low, trying to take the spot away. Here comes Zach Murphy fighting right there as well. Can he take the 3rd spot from Chris Smith? Here he comes down low. Chris Smith, your pole sitter, trying to fight for the 3rd spot right here. Dalton Creech right there as well. But Brandon Elvis, right now, your race leader. He has got 2 wins on the season, trying to make it 3 here tonight. So here comes Chris Smith underneath Dalton Creech, trying to take back the 4th spot. Meanwhile, up in front of them, Brandon Elvis starting to crawl away from his teammate Justin Coleman. Coming around to 25 laps to go. 25 to go for Brandon Elvis. Can he hold off Justin Coleman and Zach Murphy here? Going to be a battle to the finish here. 23 to go. Very close on times within the top 5. But who is going to have the better tires at the end of this one? Elvis still quicker that last time around. Coleman gonna try and, or Coleman's got to find something here with 20 laps to go at the line. Does he have anything left for Brandon Elvis? Elvis down the backstretch one more time right here. Still a good size advantage over Coleman. Chris Smith creeping up to the back bumper of Zach Murphy, trying to take away the 3rd spot. Ooh, contact there. The 80 into the back bumper of the 29. Jeffrey Miller down pit road in the 79. Chris Smith right there all over the back bumper of Zach Murphy's 29. Trying to find an opening to the inside. He's got Dalton Creech right there with him. Ooh, more contact on that back bumper. Smith definitely pushing the 29 up off the corner, drives it in underneath. Can he make it work down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 right here? Murphy up the track. Ooh, contact there. Dalton Creech in the 36. Creech going to go by for the 4th spot. Here comes Murphy back down underneath. Creech going to slam the door. 13 laps to go. But back up front, it is Brandon Elvis pulling away here. 12 to go at the line. Coleman not making up very much ground here. He's going to have to figure something out with 11 to go at the line. As Scotty Stevens, Zach Murphy into the wall. I believe he might have been battling with Scotty Stevens in the 2. Here's another look at it. Out of turns 1 and 2 for Murphy into the wall right there. And nothing for Stevens to do. He couldn't have gone anywhere right there. But Murphy up into the outside wall. And that is going to put us under caution once again. As we'll try and get another view. Gets up into the wall right there. Contact between the 2 and the 29 up into the wall. Murphy goes. Doesn't appear to be too much damage other than the quarter panel. Should be able to continue. But up front, 9 laps, coming back to 8 laps to go here at Langley. We're going to take a quick step away on True Sim Productions. I am your host, Winston Deal. We'll be right back in just one moment for the conclusion here at Langley. Alrighty, back with the lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. The field getting ready to go through turns 3 and 4 for a final time right here. Down through 3 and 4, pace cars off through the Coleman Design restart zone, and we are back racing. Scotty Stevens, not a good restart there in the 2. Here comes Chris Smith to the 2nd spot. Ooh, Brandon Mettler gets tagged in the 15, trying to save it on the bottom. He does. Good save by the 15 of Brandon Mettler to hang on to that one. 4 laps to go at the line. Can Chris Smith charge up there and steal this one from Brandon Elvis? We'll have 3 more at the line right here. Down the back straightaway, 3 laps to go, coming back to 2 this time. What can Chris Smith do? Popsicle sticks up in the air, 2 laps to go. Brandon Elvis trying to hang on. Down the back straightaway, the 80 gonna have to have a good lap here. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go for race leader Brandon Elvis. Elvis into turns 1 and 2. He's got a 3-car length advantage into turns 3 and 4. And he's going to get to the gas 1 more time. Checkered flag is out. Brandon Elvis wins at Langley. Elvis wins. Smith 2nd. Coleman 3rd. Dalton Creech 4th. Brandon Mettler 5th. Zach Murphy 6th. Scotty Stevens 7th. Jeffrey Miller 8th. Justin Elvis 9th. And rounding out your field, Dale Ogburn in the 0-1. But Brandon Elvis picking up his 3rd victory of the season. He won last week at the South Boston Speedway. He goes back-to-back here at Langley. Brandon Elvis burning it down on the front straightaway. We're going to take a quick step away 1 more time and give these guys a chance to grab a drink of water. You guys as well. And we'll be back with a word from our top 3 finishers and wrapping things up here at Langley. So we'll be right back. I'm your host, Winston Deal. We'll be back on True Sim Productions. Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Langley Speedway. Going to grab a word from our top 3. Starting with first, our 3rd place finisher up in the broadcast booth, Justin Coleman. You got a copy? Let me make sure I got the right sound device on. Justin, up in the booth, you got a copy? Trying to get Justin Coleman.
Hey, brother.
There we go.
Yeah, my iRacing literally just crashed.
Awesome. Well, I was trying to make sure it wasn't on my end. I had some sound difficulties earlier, but regardless, got in late here tonight, didn't get much practice, qualified in the 8th spot, worked your way up. Looked like might have had a run there at Brandon Elvis, just kind of ran out of time, and then the caution there late. Ended up in the 3rd spot here tonight. How do you feel? Justin?
I mean, we had a terrible qualifying run and it crashed.
Oh, nice.
No, my computer's trying to crash now. What the heck is going on?
All
Can
right.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
I got you now, Justin. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had a crappy qualifying run, but as the race went on, the cars started coming to us. I mean, we had a hot rod there at the end of that long run, but caution came out. And, I don't know, came in, took right sides, and I don't know, the car tightened up on me, and I didn't have anything for Brandon. And then, of course, another caution came out, got hung out on the outside. But hey, bring it home top 3. After starting 8th, man, I'll take it. It's a good night.
Yeah, definitely good. You went forward in this race, and you started in the 8th spot, but you really ran top 3, top 5 the entire race. So drove up and stayed there. Looked like the 14 definitely had a lot of speed. Didn't get much practice either, so just off the trailer good. Who helped get it off the trailer and onto the racetrack? Speedy, as always.
I just thank my team, ECR, and a great group of guys. We packed out the top 4 tonight, so that's good to see. I enjoy seeing that. Thank you for your broadcasting at WD Broadcasting. You do a great job. Thank all my sponsors. Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Coastal Performance, Shockeye Performance, Gibbs Brothers Construction, BH Homes Construction, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, Coleman Designs, Chestnut Hill, the restaurant, and shout out my team again, ECR. Man, you can't beat us. It's a great group of guys. Love being a part of the team. And big shout out to Brandon for getting him the win tonight.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Justin, on your 3rd place finish here tonight. We wish you luck next week at Myrtle Beach.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was Justin Coleman, driver of the number 14, coming home in the 3rd spot tonight. Now to grab a word from our 2nd place finisher, Chris Smith, up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Alrighty, well, qualified on the pole here tonight. Looked like you had a pretty good hot rod there at the beginning. Had some good restarts and got away from Brandon Elvis, but as that run went on, he got by just before the halfway mark at lap 61, and the 80 machine was fast, but it looked like the 54 just had a little bit more speed.
Yeah, man, Elvis is on these long runs like that. He's hard to beat. Car felt good though. I like this track. I just normally struggle here pretty bad, but I'll take 2nd.
Yeah, definitely a good run. As I said, started on the pole here tonight. Never really left that top 3 spot. I don't think you went past the 4th place spot, and if you did, you were right back up inside of the fight for the lead. But good run for the 80 machine here tonight. Next week we go to Myrtle Beach. It's flat, but it's a little bit different. How you feeling going into that track?
I like Myrtle Beach. It's a fun track. Have some luck there sometimes, so we'll see what we can do.
Alrighty, sounds like you've got a plan going into next week. Is there anybody that you have to thank that helped get this 80 machine in the 2nd spot here tonight?
Say hey to my dad. I know he's watching, and my grandma. Thanks my wife for letting me do this. Chastain Law Firm, Elvis Coleman Racing, Barry Elvis Performance Fabrication, and Coastal Performance Shop. And thank you for broadcasting.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Chris, on your 2nd place run here tonight. We wish you luck at Myrtle Beach.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was 2nd place finisher Chris Smith. Now bringing him up into the booth, into the broadcast booth. Brandon Elvis, do you have a copy?
Hey, Winston.
Alrighty, we'll start it in the 2nd spot here tonight. Spun the tires on the initial restart, or that initial start, about lost the car. I thought, ooh, this might be a fun one. And you had to restart 2nd once again behind Smith. Got a little bit better that 2nd time and fired off. Smith had the lead, the lap 61 point. You took that race lead away and never looked back. The 54 was fast here tonight. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good, man. I think Coleman probably had a little bit better car there. He's good at keeping more heat in the right rear than the rest of us. But, no, I was just trying to I was kind of just pacing at the start there. I thought I got shoved back too far initially because I think I went back to fourth right there, and just had to be patient. And I really didn't press anybody to pass me. It was just kind of either capitalizing on a mistake or them just getting too tight. And I knew right there when I got to Chris right before halfway there, I could tell he was his right front was starting to get a little soggy, and he was kind of shoving the center off there, and we was still able to get pretty good drive off the bottom. But once I got cleared out, it was pretty smooth sailing. I looked up and saw Coleman was in third, and he was, I don't know, three and a half seconds behind us. And then about 10 or 15 laps went by, seeing he was about 2.5 seconds behind us. I'm like, oh man, Coleman's car is turning well. So I knew he was going to be one to contend with tonight.
Yeah, Coleman definitely had a lot of speed there at the end as well. Both of you guys had this track and car figured out. Luckily, you had the track position there and had the advantage at the end and got the victory here tonight. 2 wins in a row. Next week, we go to a track that obviously I know you're excited about it. I don't have to ask you about that part, but how do you feel going into Myrtle Beach with 2 victories and a whole lot of momentum?
Man, I'd love to make it 3 in a row. You know, obviously that's my favorite place to win at, being the hometown track and all. And to be honest with you, I've often struggled there. I mean, I've got some wins there, but when it comes down to it, I kind of just don't feel like I've had the pace that some of the guys have had. It's going to be about saving the tires, you know, kind of like tonight. Just kind of set a decent pace, and hopefully we can just be there at the end.
Alrighty, well, that's next week, but congratulations on your victory here tonight. Is there anybody that you have to thank that helped get this 54 machine back into victory lane once again?
Yes, sir. Thank my wife. She came in, peeked her head in the door a minute ago, told her we won, and she told me, good job. That was fun. My mom, my dad, Coleman Design, Chestnut Hill, Coastal Performance, Barry Ellis Performance and Fab, Shotgun Racing Performance, Gibbs Brothers, Parker Brothers, BH Homes. Those guys, they're Coleman supporters, and I think they watch us and hang out with us. It's always fun to have them guys in. My buddies at Florence Winter Speedway, Steve and Brian. Brian will be racing with us tomorrow for sure. And thanks to you for putting on the broadcast, man.
Yes, sir. It's always a fun time here in the All-Star Racing League, but congratulations to you, Brandon, on your victory here tonight at Langley.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, 2 in a row for Brandon Elvis, driver of the number 54 machine. We'll put up the results one last time so you guys can see them. Brandon Elvis, your winner. Chris Smith second. Justin Coleman third. Your top 3. And I think that's going to do it for us here at the Langley Speedway. So here's the rest of the schedule. Like we said, Myrtle Beach, then Nashville the week after for the All-Star race. 2 times the points. I heard there's some exciting news coming up as well, so look forward to that race. But until then, we will see you guys later. Thank you to everybody who tuned in here at the Langley Speedway. And all the drivers are going to go back and watch this tomorrow as well. But until that, we've got tomorrow night the Late Model Stock Series and the Leave the Pack iRacing League Street Stock Showdown Wednesday night. So 2 good races on the WD Broadcasting Network / True Sim Productions. But until then, we'll see you guys later.